A lot of the people who have used this throw have been really good ground fighters because one, they get points for the throw, and then they directly go right transition, right in, past that guard, past that leg, sticking with it, get a side control, some kind of a side pinning. What's the setup? You'll see what I mean. You'll step, cross right over. Ko Uchi Makikomi. The Kodokan classifies this, Kodokan Judo classifies this as a sacrifice technique, Sutemi Waza. And for many years, it was just a variation of Ko Uchi Gake, right? And they reclassified it some years ago where it's its own separate throw now. We always call it Ko Uchi Gake because it's a hooking movement, and it's really a deep hooking movement. But a lot of people all over the world also call it Ko Uchi Makikomi, which is Ko Uchi winding and wrapping in. So either description is good. Okay, probably Ko Uchi Makikomi is going to be the one you hear most often, or more often. Okay, so what we'll do it's a pretty basic thing, but it has two great functions. It's a great throw, and it's equally a great transition to ground fighting from standing to get them, into a pinning technique. So you'll see what happens when Derek throws Eric here. So just go ahead and do it, and watch the movements, watch the big movements that set it up. You'll see what I mean. You'll step, cross right over, and that is it. Okay. It's a real sudden thing. I know a number of people have used this with great success over the years. And a lot of the people who have used this throw have been really good ground fighters because one, they get points for the throw, and then they directly go right transition, right in, past that guard, past that leg, sticking with it, get a side control, some kind of a side pinning movement. So let's take a look at this. So the first setup, it's the standard kumikata, right hand lapel, left hand on sleeve, standard stuff, okay? All right, now, what's going to happen is Derek's going to do a big taisabaki, circular body movement action, and as he does, he's going to pull a lot with his right hand, and he's doing this on purpose. He's controlling Eric's shoulder. So he's going to step in and step back, and as he does this, boom. Now Eric is cooperating and stepping to stay there. He's doing it well. Sometimes they won't step as far. That doesn't matter how far they step generally. Okay. What matters is how far Derek steps back. And you notice he steps all the way back, and he's forming a T. Okay, so here's Derek this way, and here's Eric this way, and it's a T action. And notice the side of the foot. His foot isn't this way. You don't want to be that. You want to have your foot sideways so you can drive in much deeper. And it helps turn the body. So now he's got his body turned. Now he's going to squat. He's going to lower his levels with his legs. Do not bend at the waist. If you bend at the waist, you'll screw the throw up. Don't do that. So you want to squat low, and now he's going to continually hold on here on the shoulder of the lapel. But with his left hand, he's going to reach through like that, and watch how he's just squat, and watch how he dives and wraps his leg around. That's right over. Now, his point was he wanted to wrap around and land on his left hip, which you saw him do that. Let's do that again, a little faster, without me yapping. You can do that. There you go, okay? And you just want to keep reaping on through. It's a fast, hard, reaping action, but you have to sacrifice your body to do it. That's just why it's a sacrifice technique. Now, did you see that first part? The second part is, once you've thrown him and taken him down, you are between his legs. Don't stay there. A lot of people in judo, they'll stay there, and that's not a good place to stay. You want to get past his legs immediately, okay? And the reason is because if he's a very good ground fighter, he may have let you take him down just to get your back. Okay, so you don't want to let him have your back. Okay, that's what you do not want him to do. So the second phase is pretty darn important too. So let's look at that. So once you step him back and you come in, bam, now come right over the leg. See how he passes over that leg? And he just jumps right over past it? Cool. Everybody will have his own way of doing it, but the idea is once you sweep, just roll that other knee right over, just like Derek did. Watch how he rolls his knee over. And
I'm doing this, as soon as I hit here and I'm nice and low, when I hit that hook, I'm trying to get my hip to touch the floor and my hand to be right there blocking his hip. Okay, so as I come through, hip's touching the floor, right? Now I can grab his leg and he's blocked. Step over, and then this is still blocking his hip for an easy transition and hit.
So it's just as important after you throw them to get past that leg and get good side position. Okay, Monogatami, Kamishi Hogatami, any of those side pins are good. Okay, but that's what it is. So it's equally a throw and a transition. Can you do one more time? If you have anything to add, just throw it once if you have anything to add.
Okay, so if you're having trouble with the transition, really focus on getting the T and touching the hip. Boom, and then as soon as the hip touches the ground, you step over. Okay, and then at the very least, I'm right here, and I can start working whichever way I want to pass. Okay, doesn't really matter. You got all your passes from there, but getting that leg over is really important. Okay, saves you from him taking your back, and it saves you from him getting guarded.
I've seen guys not finish with that guard pass, and then get caught. The bottom guy caught him like spinning Jujitsu, you know, and just kept rolling him, or just got his back and flattened him out and got some kind of a strangle from the behind.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be there. You want to, as soon as you throw,
Step over.
step over. So it is equally important. Okay. So and one thing also, you say, well, is he dumb enough to make that big step? They generally don't make a real big step. I know my wife used this a she competition. She threw a lot of women with this very throw. And she said, I didn't care how far they stepped out. I always knew I formed a T. So when she was, even if Derek steps just a little bit, not a lot, see how Derek is still in position to get that. His legs are a little more narrow, and now he can drop low and to get that wrap in and catch him. So they don't always have to take a big step and go with it.
But you do.
Yeah, but you often do. Because a lot of times, when we're doing this Taisabaki movement action here, the controlling here, you know, this is really powerful because I'm controlling his shoulder. When I can step around here and catch, boom, I've got this. Now, if I were holding left and trying the same thing, it wouldn't be strong because I'm holding it a longer grip, okay? So there's more of a lever there to pull against and I can't pull very well. But I can control that shoulder really well. The shoulder's connected to the hip. Guess what? The shoulder goes, the hip follows. Just basic anatomy. Okay? One more time, one more practice. So let's watch one more time, kind of full speed. There you go. I tell you guys, it's one of those simple moves that is not simplistic. It is really a high rate of success, one of those type of moves, and it's really one of those great go-to moves if, you know, whether you're winning or losing. One of the key things is when you get your Ko Uchi Gake move, Ko Uchi Makikomi, when you wrap your leg in, you want to point your toe. Okay, that's really thing, because that guides how you go in. And by wrapping your toe, you just help wrap around his leg. Okay, and it's a Makikomi, a wrapping thing, so that's what you're doing with your leg. So when Derek comes in here on mic, let's have him do it on mic, and when he steps back and do your thing, now watch with his left leg. Now watch his toe. When he comes through, he's going to point his toe, and as he does, he'll wrap and land on his left hips. Watch how he does that. See how he pointed that toe? You don't want to try to just hook. Now, in say like an inside leg trip, like in wrestling or something, it's an inside hook like that. We don't want to do that. We want to land on our hip. And so in order to land on the hip better, we want to just wrap that leg around there and make a big rounded type movement. Okay? What will happen is as soon as you wrap, you're going to put your foot on the mat, and you'll see him do that, and then that'll help you launch, turn him over. So it takes skill to do that, and that's why we come to practice.
You plow through them that way. As soon as you like hook, you're leaning. If you sweep through with the toe pointed like that, and as soon as your foot hits, you're driving into it now.
So let's pay attention to the left foot right now. So do it again. Now watch his foot, how he uses that foot to work. See that? So hook, you plant it, you come over the top. It's not just, and some people come in and will just kind of hook and hope he falls down. You're steering him with that leg in a very real sense. So when you wrap that around there, by wrapping it around just like a big snake, you know, a kawazu action, a wrapping action, you know, that's what, you know, that's what's happening, or a garami action, wrapping action. So one more time, but watch that foot, it comes back, wrap, and it comes over. So as soon as you wrap it, you plant and move right over. And that helps transition to get to your side position. You gotta go right over his leg, okay? Some of you are making a mistake by not wrapping, like pointing your toe. If you point your toe, you'll better, and then as you do that, you'll say, oh, I threw him a whole lot harder and a whole lot easier. Yeah, a lot better control.
And you'll take a lot less thump when you land as well. Like most of the time when you're hooking like this or like this, your knee comes down first, and you just bang the crap out of your knee. When you point that toe, you're coming down really on the hip. So not only do you get the offensive gain of really driving through the guy, but you're going to take a much less impactful landing.
Yeah, if you're coming in, you're hooking and landing on your knee, you're doing it wrong, because one, you'll hurt your knee, and you probably won't throw them very well either, with not much control, and it just won't work very well. So this is a big wrapping action, and come around. So we get to throw and guard pass, really, some of the transition. We good? Let's give it a go.